So the relationship I had with my father was more of a best friend.
He became involved with Union. He was one of the founder members.
So we moved to Orlando in 1998.
So again, like I've said, that he loved to work with people. His inspiration was people. He loved the Jamaat. He trusted and had faith in the Jamaat, and he was very proud of his Jamaat. And I remember when the groundbreaking was for this Masjid-Al-Hayy, he was very happy, very excited about the mosque. Unfortunately, he passed away before the opening. But when people came from out of town, he used to talk to them about this mosque, and so he had this love for the community. And that's what inspired him to move forward. And he had this gift of solving problems, solving issues. You give him any issue, any problem, he'll find a third, a way out, a third way out, and he'll solve it. And this is the gift that he had. So he started off as a vice president and then became the chairman. And he faced a lot of challenges. There were a lot of challenges in our Jamaat at that time. A lot of people were moving in from all over the world. And we were in the old center. There were a lot of challenges there, but there's one thing that I want to say this, that his family always supported him, and the family also knew this was important to him, the Jamaat was important to him, so the family supported him all the time. And there were challenges that he didn't specifically tell me about every challenges, but he never complained. To him, it was all fair. To him, it was all about solving the issue and making everyone happy.
So when it comes to my father and how he was involved in the Jamaat, I was really young at the time when he was serving on the board. However, I know how much he wanted me to get involved. There was a time where every time we would go for majalis and stuff, especially during Kushalis, I would be the unter kid. So when I was really young, I would have to, and I honestly, in the beginning, I didn't really like it because I didn't want to get up in front of everybody, but he was always like, no, you should do that. It's like an honor to be that person, to do it. I don't know if it was a joke, but I did it anyways, and yeah, I would always be that kid. And till today, like some uncles, they know me as the unter kid that would always come up and give them a little perfume on their hand. Also, like, whenever they were serving chai or something, he would always be like, don't sit down, go serve chai, go help these people. Even if you're not part of the committee or anything, just go and see if they need any help. Especially after majalis, he always made it a point that we would go say salams to like all the elders that were sitting down and see if they needed something, not just pass by them like they don't exist, because they were a really pivotal part for the growth of our community as well as in other communities as well. So to show them that respect is something that he always instilled with me and how he got me involved. And from there, like, it just built up, and it's something that he instilled in me from a very young age. And because of that, I pushed myself to get more involved in my school, as well as in humanitarian work. Like, I've been to Greece, and I went to Lebanon with my sister to go help out with the refugees that were there. At the University of Florida, where I go to school currently right now, I am part of an organization where we help raise money for kids with cancer in our local community. So something that he always pushed me to get involved in. He was involved a lot more in the community, but because of that teaching, it helped me grow and expand on that and bring a way for other people to also get involved as well.
So when my dad was president in New York, a lot of people went to him for advice. Number one, as soon as they entered the Jamaat, he would make sure that everyone felt welcome and everyone felt kind of like wanted in the community. He never let a single person go without, like leaving upset, basically. The thing that's really great is he brought that same mentality down to Orlando. When he was vice president and then also like interim president as well. I remember kind of helping him with a lot of his speeches because he always wanted to address the whole community, not just one person. And I remember kind of having him write them, and then he would practice them with me, and that was just a really great memory I had with him. The thing is that we never really knew what happened in the Jamaat, because the way his leadership style, I think, was that there was your home life and then there was your work life, and you shouldn't really, you know, kind of put the middle in between. So whenever there was something going on with the mosque, we really just knew the basics of it. If there was an event, we would go to that, but we never really got into the deep details of it at the time. You know, we knew that a lot of people would call him and ask him for advice, but he did keep everything very, what's the word? He kept everything very confidential, so nothing really, you know, got out, because when someone trusts you with your problems, you have to make sure that that sticks there, and that's one really good thing that we learned about him, and I think why a lot of people, you know, really felt comfortable talking to him as well. I think that the really good thing that really rubbed off on all of us is when we saw him get so involved, especially after he passed away, we kind of heard a lot of stories about what he really did for people that we didn't really know before. And it really made all the four of us really just want to jump in and get involved in the community. We were involved before, but I think after, we kind of realized that if you're a part of a community, you really have to do your part to make a difference and help other people. We can't just go to mosque and leave and go home. We have to help. We have to help the homeless, help the poor, help, you know, everyone. Like, that's kind of like our job. And I really think that seeing him do that really put into us and just go out there and kind of make a difference, because it does get you somewhere in life. And I think that's one of the greatest things he taught us.
He just loved working with people. That was the gift he had. He would, his gift was bringing people together, and he loved it. The person that he was, he came up with ideas. His whole idea was to bring people together and do things together, and he loved it. I always asked him, why do you do it? And he just loved it. For him, it wasn't the position, to be honest with you. He just wanted to work for Jamaat. It wasn't the position that mattered. I always asked him, what is it that you get? Because this is a lot of involvement. It's a very big commitment to take an office in the Jamaat. His answer always was, he's doing it for Akhirah, he's doing it for Allah, he's doing it for the Ahlul-bayt. I don't think anybody who is doing this Jamaat work has any selfish motive, but the commitment, you really have to be committed, and he was always committed, always involved in Jamaat. He influenced a lot of people, young people. Especially young people loved him. I think, and I think it showed that when he was in the hospital, every time I went there were young people sitting around him. They just loved him. They just loved to talk to him, and he treated everybody on the same level. That was the beauty. He would not see that somebody is too old, that I should respect him more than the younger. To him, he respected everyone, and young people, I think they love that. And it started with Union, where he worked with a lot of young people, and even in Jamaat, he somehow also influenced young people to get involved in the Jamaat.
So when it comes in terms of, I guess if my father was here, what kind of advice that he would give to address the community or just an individual would, to always get involved. You know, it's definitely something that when you get involved, you not only help the person that you get involved to help, but you also help yourself, because you learn so much from it. You learn how to be more humble. You learn how to be grateful for what you have, especially when it comes towards the youth. You know, if you get involved at a young age, it's something that's instilled in you when you get older. So that way it's something that's just automatic. You know, if you see someone that is walking and is having trouble, you don't think about it. You just go and you do it. And that's something that he definitely instilled in me and my sisters and my brother. Was at a very young age. We didn't really know too much what was happening in the Jamaat. He didn't really bring his work home, but he would always tell us to get involved, always help people, always say salam to people, always go up to new people. If you see someone that's new that you've never seen before, go introduce yourself. You know, you never know who you can meet, how that person can impact you, or if that person can even help you, or if you can even help that person. Yeah, another thing is always to stand up for what you believe in. Don't ever get pushed down by nobody. You know, he would always tell us that if you see something that's wrong and you need to stand up, you stand up. And even if you stand alone, the fact that you're standing is the best part about your character, and it shows a lot about you. And you may even stand up for someone who's too scared or too afraid to stand up. So that could give them the motivation to stand up against something that's wrong later on in life. And I guess the last thing that I can end with is to always vote for the underdog. You know, if there's something new and up and coming that's happening in the community, don't push it down. See where it can go. Sometimes new, fresh ideas from the youth is necessary, because when you're stuck in the same old mindset, you get the same results. So when you get something new come in, maybe you can find a better result that can come off after that. So those are the kind of stuff that I guess he would address the youth, because he was really big with the youth. Even though he was really a lot older, he was a kid at heart, you know. And there's a lot of youth today that are around my age that were like, yo, your dad was like a dad to me. You know what I mean? We would come to mosque and he would be in the kitchen joking with them, laughing with them, and he was like one of the boys, you know. So it's definitely something that, you know, I aspire to be when I grow older, and it's something that I try to do too with the community that I'm in.
So I definitely think one message from what I know of my dad is, if he wanted to give to the community today, especially the youth, he was very, very involved with the youth. I remember a lot of, you know, people my age, they kind of, it used to be either Uncle Lee, or Ba. Like those were like the three names that he was basically addressed as. To us, he was obviously Dad. But just, you know, I remember how so many youth would come to Orlando looking for jobs, and he would just tell them right away, tomorrow you're out here, like this is where I want to see you, and they had no worries with him. And I think that if he wanted to kind of give a message out to the youth today, or to our community today, it would just be to, number one, get involved, whether it's Who is Hussein, whether it's outreach, whether it's playing sports, whether it's kiddie time. Just there's so many amazing things going on in our community. There's always something that you can get involved in, catered to whatever your needs are. Another thing I think he would say is that if you see a new person in the mosque, or if you see an elder, if you see an auntie that needs water, like just go up to them and help them, because you don't know when, you know, the last time is that you could even see that person, and the last thing you want to do is go into a mosque and just walk in and walk out. Yeah, it's a place of, you know, worship. It's a place where you go to listen, but it's also your community. It's a place where you should be involved, and you should make your friends there, because these are the people that are going to be there for you in the long run when you do need them. And number three, I would just say that, you know, he would tell people, with all of the issues we're facing in the community today, with, you know, with everything going on in the world, just really stay true to what you believe in, stay true to yourself, and just really, if you see someone that's, you know, not being treated right, or someone that really needs help, just kind of stick up for them, because a lot of people really don't have a voice. And I think one thing that he really did was, when people were kind of in need or in help, they would go to him, and he would, you know, kind of be that voice for them, which I think is really great. Another thing is, he really connected with the youths, and I think that's one thing that he would really tell them to do, is be involved. I remember when my brother Asif was telling me when he was out of ICU after his surgery, it was actually his last day ever at mosque before he passed away. There was a line of people, from youth all the way to the elders, that wanted to say Assalamu alaikum to him. And I think it's just the impact that he really made with all ages of our mosque. It really goes to show that when you make an effort, people remember you. And it's been 5 years, and still to this day, at, you know, majlises and tournaments, people still remember him. And I think that really means a lot to us. It really does.
On a personal level, I just miss him too much. There's whatever I say is not enough. I am very lucky to have a brother like him in my life. But Allah gives him a chance, He gives him a place in Jannah. That's all I ask in return. I request everyone to please recite Surah Al-Fatiha, and whoever liked him or who he influenced, please always remember him in your prayers.